I want to talk about the token black person.
token
that
black.
that concept of being a token or somebody stealing your job.
Token black.
That drives me crazy. Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Race Car LLC. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know, because you're pretty.
Thank you, so are you.
Thank you. My name is Sarah Pearson Collins.
And I'm Keziah Pearson.
And we back.
So anyway, I want to talk about the token black person.
token
that
black.
that concept of being a token or somebody stealing your job.
Token black.
That drives me crazy because you buy into it because it's been sold to you for so long. You buy into it. I don't care what color you are.
So
you buy into
I
it.
work at a organization, and that word was used when I first started, and it's very hurtful to hear it coming from not a white person, an actual black person.
Yeah. So then there's that part of it as well, right?
Yeah. And you start to question yourself, like, am I here because, like, I know I had the credentials. Like, they were not even, like, your resume can't even make it upstairs unless you have the qualifications to meet the job requirements. Like, that's how strenuous the hiring process is.
So pause there, because that part right there, that part is everything. So people are constantly like, oh, well, they're taking our jobs and they're getting them just because they're black. Never has a black person gotten a job just because, okay, I'm not going to say never, but I'm going to say 99.9% of the time never has a black person gotten a job just because they were black. Mm-mm. They had to have had the credentials. And so even when the whole, what was it that was in existence? The affirmative action, right? Mm-hmm. That was just to allow somebody to get their foot in the door. They still had to have the credentials. So if you really want to think about it, who's really getting jobs based off the color of their skin? Like, I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
You finally get an opportunity. You got the credentials, but somebody had to say, hey, you're not being fair. Give them opportunity.
Let's give that one job in a room full of 100 white people to a black person.
Or at least look at their resume. You don't have to give them the job, but what's the football?
God.
You don't have to give them the job, but at least look at their resume. They're qualified because they have the credentials.
Why can't I think? The Rooney Rule.
The Rooney Rule.
And the reason why I was just thinking about that is the last, there was a black man, I can't even think of what his name was, but he was applying for a job. Like, they're not even doing it fair. So the NFL has come up with a rule that they have to at least, like, interview a black person when they're looking for candidates for coaches, because you figure like 75-80% of the athletes are black, but there's really no black coaches.
Right.
It's not fair. It's not fair, because y'all must really think somebody crazy. Like, if they're good enough to be in the NFL, but they're not good enough to be coaches, like, come on, dude. Like, that's kind of crazy. So then they come up with this rule, but then they still find loopholes to get around it. Like, they already know who they want to be in these positions, and so they'll pretend now to interview for these jobs, or interview a black person for the job when they've in fact already got the job for someone else. That's so shitty.
Didn't something go down where they had...
It did, and it's going down as we speak. It's still, I think it's still going on, but it's just ridiculous that...
No, I mean, like, something went down where they thought they hired,
Yes.
they had already hired somebody, and they...
Yes.
Y'all gotta look it up. Look up the Rooney Rule and
Yeah, that just happened. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Crazy talk.
It just really just happened.
And so the same thing happens in regular jobs. Regular jobs, they already have who they think they want for a position. It's like, okay, and I'm not going to say every company does this. I'm not going to say, because some people, we have gotten better. We have gotten much better. We have grown. I'm not going to say much. Let me take that back. We've gotten better as a country. But this still goes on. Like, my resume won't even make it. I think we talked about resumes before. My resume won't even make it upstairs with my first name on it. So I just put K on there now.
But once you have contact with a person, somebody that has a different skin tone from you, once you have that contact, you're less likely to treat them in a negative manner, or if you see something happening, you're more likely to stand up and say, hold up, that's not right, as opposed to, oh, well, it doesn't matter.